In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we just finished our series on Are You Living with a Narcissist? So I thought I'd kind of go to a different direction now, do something a little bit more positive. We're going to talk about the psychology of friendships.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I have probably 25 tips or 25 information facts that someone might be surprising to you.
Hang on to
how they can actually increase or benefit your mental health.
So hang on to your butt, folks.
Yep,
This is
hang on.
This is going to be an 8-episoder.
No, it won't be 8 episodes, maybe 7.
All right.
And as usual, folks, we're giving away free stuff. We'll be right back.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? This is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. We are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome to you. That is Matt Fox, the other voice you hear.
Hello.
Mr. Matthew Fox.
That's me.
He's not nicknamed Jack and didn't crash on an island, but that is his name.
It was from since birth.
Yeah. Well, do you ever get anybody connect you with that?
No, well, of course, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And at one point in my life, I was a party of 5.
Okay,
and every time I'd walk around the house, I did feel lost.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, right.
It
Yeah.
worked out.
So we're here in the podcast Your Voice, Southfield Studios. It is a Monday evening. We're doing a podcast.
Yep.
We just finished up with the Man Cave Happy Hour podcast. If you want to hear about a great cocktail that we mixed up.
The double D.
The Double D.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Duke and Dame.
Yep. Caramel salted whiskey.
Yep. And there's a drink that it really is tasty. I mean, even if you're not a big whiskey fan, it's a great mix. So go to Man Cave Happy Hour. .com. Yes, that's what I thought. mancavehappyhour.com. And
well, it's not .gov. I can promise you that.
Not after tonight.
Not after that. No, it's a blue drink, and we were celebrating.
Yes, we're celebrating the Detroit Lions
because there are so many folks jumping on the bandwagon of the Detroit Lions and their 7-2 season thus far, and we just decided to go blue.
Yeah,
blue drinks,
and that's a fantastic drink. So check them out. Let me tell you folks where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. Check that out. We're slowly but surely getting all these podcast notes backlogged into the website. So if you want to look at a progress note, I'm in my therapy thinking mind right at the moment. But if you want to see show notes from past episodes, check that out. And actually, it's a great way. If you take a look and look back at all the show notes, you might see an episode like, oh, that looks like that'd be interesting. Then jump into your podcast platform and find us.
Fair.
You can listen to the episode and hear us talk about it.
There it is.
And get more insight into it.
Where else can we find you?
Facebook and YouTube are both Motor City Hypnotist. And on Snapchat and Instagram are both Motor City Hypno. That is HYPNO.
Yes.
And to get your free hypnosis guide, it's really a couple page PDF. It's informational, gives you some myths and misconceptions, information on kind of what hypnosis is, how it works, not too in depth, but a good guide for you to have. Text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. Again, that's 313-800-8510. And if you happen to miss that or you want to look it up later, just check the website out. It's right there on the show notes. In fact, if you look at my website, motorcityhypnotist.com, the phone number there is the same. So you can text to that number.
Yep.
So check it out, get your free hypnosis guide and get it now. And the most important thing is wherever you're listening, whatever podcast platform you are on, just leave a review and connect, sign up, commit, whatever,
commit.
Whatever it is on your platform.
I'm committed.
It's all, it used to be just subscribe.
Right.
And it's all changed. I don't know why they're
whatever,
different verbiage, whatever. It's all, it's all semantics, You say potato.
I say potato.
Yes. So that is where you can find me. And
Fair.
again, leave a review.
All right.
Very important.
Is it?
It's time.
Is it?
That's how winning is done.
All right. Sock it to me,
Yes,
sir.
it is. Okay, this is a good story. And you know, I've mentioned this numerous times. If you guys have listened for any length of time, we like animal stories and we like winners. So why not put them together when we can?
Yeah.
A dog's keen nose led a resident of Cornwall to a mine shaft where 100 feet down, her cat, Mowgli, was lost and alone for 6 days.
So the dog was
The dog sniffed out the
Okay.
cat.
from 100
So the cat,
up.
yes, from 100 feet down.
Well, so the dog was up, the cat was down.
Yeah, the cat was in the well, 100
Wow.
feet down.
Jeez.
Mowgli's owner, Michelle Rose, told the BBC she had almost given up hope of finding her missing pet, but superstar Daisy was persistent in getting Rose to follow her.
Yeah. Like, what is it, Lassie?
Yes.
What is it?
What
is
Timmy
it,
fell
girl?
in a well? Except Mowgli fell in a well? That's exactly what it is.
It's the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Rose adopted both Mowgli and another kitten named Baloo last December and gradually introduced them to Daisy.
Baloo. Duh.
Yeah.
It's the bare necessities.
Yeah,
the
right.
simple.
Daisy's the dog, and she introduced them to Daisy, who became matriarchal and very protective of the kittens.
Of course.
So the dog's kind of like their mother in a way.
Smell them from a mile
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
When Mowgli went missing, it must have been hard on the pooch.
Yes.
Yes.
I smell you. You're there. I know you are.
The BBC report doesn't say what attempts were made to find the missing cat or what she and her dog were doing near the old Prince of Wales mine works in Cornwall. But it was there after 6 days that Daisy started going berserk.
Okay.
Leading Rose to an old opening in the mines, she realized what Daisy was showing her, and she immediately called Cornwall Fire and Rescue Service, but it was too dark that day to do anything.
Okay.
The next morning, RSPCA Animal Rescue Officer Stephen Findlow came out to the mines and spotted Mowgli, who was 100 feet down and remarkably uninjured.
Well, it's a cat.
Right?
And
They always land on their feet.
And they have how many lives?
Well, 100 feet though?
Yeah, well, probably hit a couple of walls.
Well,
on
I
the way
mean, I
down.
was going to say,
May not
as
have
much
been-
as you can land on your feet, but if you're going, terminal speed, right, it's something bad could happen.
You're not physically. She was probably okay. Mentally, hit her
Right.
head on a few rocks
Well,
on the
maybe.
way down. Yeah.
Pulling Mowgli to safety, the kitten was greeted by its compatriots and a relieved owner.
Okay.
Without Daisy doing that, Mowgli could still be down there, that's for sure, Mrs. Rose said.
Okay.
She was persistent in making me follow her. It was amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Okay,
What
so
what
do you
is
want-
it, girl?
Do you want to see a picture of Mowgli
Sure.
and Daisy the dog and Mowgli the cat who was
Yes.
found?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. and
There
Throw
they
that up
are.
there. Look at that. It looks like a spaniel breed almost.
Yeah, it looks
Daisy
almost,
looks
it
like a
looks, it looks maybe like a lab, kind of. It has that lab face a little
But
bit.
it's got the Springer Spaniel ears.
Right. Oh, no, that's true. You're right.
Yeah. Daisy's definitely looks like a mix.
Yeah.
All right.
But there's Daisy and Mowgli, safe and sound.
Aw,
It all ended up great.
fantastic.
You know what? They're great friends,
I can see that.
which we're going to talk about in just a minute.
All
But
right.
definitely,
I see what you did
Daisy,
there.
Mowgli, and Mrs. Rose, winners of the week for sure.
Thank you.
That's how winning is done.
See,
Yes, it is.
I love all my friends, but I don't know their scent. I wouldn't be able to pick them out in a lineup by the way they smell.
Oh, great Odin's raven.
But it's a dog.
You might be able to.
It's quite pungent. It stings the nostrils.
No,
Depends on the friend.
Yeah, the olfactory senses in a dog's nose are a million times
No,
better
they're
than
insane. Of
yeah.
course. Yeah.
So
it's
that's
crazy.
That's a very cool story. Thank you for that.
No, that's a great one. So yeah. And we just said they're probably very good friends.
Mhm.
So, back to it.
So here we go.
Speaking of that, we're talking about friendship. So we spent, and I mentioned in the intro, we talked about narcissism. Are you living with a narcissist for 4 episodes? Because that was important information to get out. And People needed to hear it, as unpleasant as that is.
And it was unpleasant for me. I was PTSD,
I know,
throughout it, and I got through it, and it really did help me to understand a few more things about not just who I was living with, but the environment that we were in, and some of my behaviors, because we all do have some of those narcissistic tendencies.
Absolutely.
So
what happened?
But the fact is, it really, and I self-inflict a lot to begin with. So I came out of those 4 episodes learning more about, what to look out for and how to protect.
Yes, definitely. So we're going to lighten it up a little bit. I'm going to talk about friendships. Now, people say, oh, friendships, what is, I don't know. Sometimes it's a very vague definition. It's very subjective.
Sure.
But I'm going to say why having friends is good for you psychologically.
Yes.
Why it can be healthy, and also maybe some surprising facts maybe that you didn't know.
All right.
So a lot of the information I'm going to share with you, I did some online researching on the Google machine, but a lot of studies have been done regarding friendships, how they work, typically how they are, data as far as friendships in early age and old age. So there's a lot of great information.
Okay.
So the big thing, the whole kind of underlying theme of this is that friendships play a crucial role in your overall well-being.
That and your development into learn how to be social.
Yeah.
I'm going to go that. I'm like, you have to learn how to be social amongst friends.
Well, no, absolutely.
And those friends have to kind of help you to understand how to be sociable with them.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you have a really good friend, they're typically the one you turn to for support. If something's going on, if you need something, if you just, you need to just go hang out.
Yeah.
That's kind of the person you kind of turn to.
Okay.
So when we explore these psychological facts, it's going to give you insight into honestly various aspects of human behavior and friendships, and why, in the words of Thomas Merton, no man is an island.
No. Wow.
You know that book?
I don't, but I know the phrase.
Yep. That's where it comes from. Okay. So yeah, it's a little deep reading for you philosophical types.
All right.
Yeah, but it's good. So the number one fact I'm going to say is having friends is good for your health.
Yeah. Your mental, not just your physical health. But
it can also be, it can be physical health. It can be mental health. It can be spiritual health. So a circle of friends can have very positive impacts. And when I say these, a lot of the things I'm going to share with you are generally true. Now, there are always exceptions to everything. So just take that
grain of salt.
Just keep that in the back of your mind.
Got it.
Because if you have a bunch of losers for friends, that's probably not going to be good for you.
Like this in the background. What the fuck is it with you?
Okay, so the folks that you surround yourself with, your group of friends, if if they are moving down a path that you just don't agree with, you need to separate yourself from that. But you have to learn how to do that too.
Well, yeah, and we're going to get into that. So the things the good thing about having a friend or friends or a circle of friends is it increases your self-confidence, your self-esteem. It gives you a sense of purpose and belonging. It's kind of like your people, because friends are the people you choose.
Yeah.
It's not like family. You're stuck with them because you didn't choose to be with your family. That's just what you're given.
Yeah.
But friends, though, you choose them. So it's definitely something that you have an active involvement in keeping that together.
Okay.
And friendships, they play a significant role in just nurturing our mental health and the way we feel about ourselves.
All right.
So especially, and I mentioned it before, in times of trauma or stress or distress, typically you're going to turn to friends.
Yeah. Because
those are the people that you know best, and those are the people you've chosen to be in your life.
Agreed.
Yes. Number 2, and this is an interesting thing. There were some studies done, and it found that people with major physical illnesses recovered more quickly when they had a friend group.
Oh, of course, because you have that's your support group.
Yep. They have a strong support system.
Yes.
And honestly, in the study, it found that a majority of people who survived traumatic illnesses, such as cancer or other types of illnesses, the majority that had friend groups did better.
Sure. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then again, it's just another example of just having that belonging. This one made me laugh when I was reading through these studies, but hanging out with friends can make you look more attractive.
Well, if you're a 10 and you're hanging out with a bunch of 5s, you're hanging out with a bunch of 5s, yeah, you're gonna be more attractive than
I ain't listening to you no more.
the group.
So in these studies,
Come on, man, be my wingman.
it
Come
said
on.
it's called the cheerleader effect.
Okay.
That when you're in a group of people, it tends to make you look more attractive. It just is that feeling of belonging, or that perception that, oh, these are good people.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I don't want to be mean, but you maybe have that one friend who kind of sticks out like a,
Like a booger?
Oh, da-da-da-da, like this in the background. What the fuck is it with
but
you?
no, really, hanging out with friends can make you look more attractive.
Yeah, and that's actually a true statement. Being in the wedding industry as long as I was, in the bar, DJing in bars, you saw those groups of folks and you saw who they were hanging out with.
Yes.
And you get an understanding as to why they're hanging out with one another,
right?
And who's actually the more upstanding of the group at the same time.
Now, let me put a little caveat on this. If your friend group are not ideal people, let's say,
okay,
some of you out there, you know what I'm talking about. You might have had this group of friends in school that were just,
not just in
maybe
school,
not cool,
but yeah,
or just,
just now, even now, they're doing 8 balls in the bathroom.
Yeah, maybe they were hooligans.
Now you listen to me, mister. God did not put me on this earth to be awakened by filthy suggestions from a foul-mouthed hooligan like you.
It's just that you see a lot in today's day and age, especially after, and I hate to keep bringing this up because I'm over it, but COVID really did bring the worst out of a lot of people. And now they're trying to get back out there and they're trying to still be who they were. And it's not working.
Yep.
Right. And they're trying to bring other people into that mainstream. And it's not a good area to be in.
Yeah.
Go on.
So here's a fact for you. Most mammals have friends.
Really?
Horses, hyenas, elephants, dolphins, chimpanzees. Studies have shown that they all form friendships with other
of course
animals.
And they'll cross species as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like Daisy and Mowgli.
Well, no, and that was the next thing. You said it, Matt. My next sentence on my notes here, it says, what's even more fascinating, they develop bonds with animals from different species. Yes.
I'm a genius.
Well, in our story today,
yes,
we had the dog rescuing the cat. They were friends.
Point Matthew.
Absolutely.
Right.
Point. Bam. Well, and here's the theory on the animal friendships. Studies believe it reduces their stress. It leads to better health, and it even leads to better reproductive success.
I get that.
Yeah.
Not with one another, because they're different species, but
well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
No, don't shut me up.
Here's an interesting fact about friendships. Your friend group size will stay the same throughout your life.
Okay, so say that one more time.
Your friend group size will stay the same throughout your entire life.
And I like what Kendra said, because she says, I'm happy. I'm always happy with my friends. Happy people are more attractive.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. 100%.
110%.
So the more happy people you have around you, the more attractive people there are.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
No, no, absolutely.
I like that.
That's a absolutely true statement.
I like that.
So when I say your friend group stays the same throughout your life, it's likely the average number of friends you have, and we're talking about like not acquaintances, we're talking about friends, will stay the same when you're even younger, into your middle ages, and even later. they don't change that much because typically your environment changes. Most of the time, friendships are based on environment. When you're in elementary school, your best friend is somebody in your class.
Sure.
When you get to high school, your best friends are probably people with the same interests as you, whether you're on a sports team or in a club. When you get to graduate and you go to work, your best friends are the people you work with.
Sure.
Later on, maybe you retire and you have friends that are in the same age group in your neighborhood or friends that you've known. But it doesn't vary a lot as far as the amount of friends you have.
Did you say pickleball? I'll go play pickleball.
Pickleball.
What happened?
No, you're not wrong because, Dave, and this is one of the geniuses behind Facebook is staying in touch with acquaintances that could become better friends.
Yes.
But you have your friends who are
right.
You commonly,
that you see and you see in person with. For real.
Right. But
not
then
your fantasy friends.
Correct.
Right.
But then you have those acquaintances that, I would like, they look like they're doing really well. Good for them. You send them a message. And then
I will say, and I'll come into my not to be downer mode.
No,
but,
you're good.
But I will say social media, as much good as it has done connecting people, I call it the social media effect. People show what they want you to see.
And we've said that before, and you're absolutely correct and 100%.
So it is nice, but it's not totally accurate.
Right.
Yes.
I am 100. I agree with that, but still it's a way of staying connected.
Yes, absolutely.
To folks that, I'm looking for some support here. You know what? They seem to be struggling the same way I am.
Yeah.
If they're that type of person to put that on social media.
Right. Yeah. And that, and that just depends on your comfort level to do that.
I'm with you.
How many friends, when I say friends, how many friends do you think you'll have in a lifetime?
Hundreds.
Okay. Throughout your lifetime, research suggests that an average person is likely to form approximately 396 friendships.
I nailed it. Hundreds.
Over the course of their lifetime.
Yeah.
Only a small number of these, however, are likely to stand the test of time and be true friends for the entire time.
That's because of the environment.
Right. Because yes, environments change, jobs change, interests change, whatever. Yeah. So I'll give you a good, I had a good friend, best friend growing up, like in elementary school.
Okay.
Went to each other's houses all the time, hung out, spent the night, had same interests. We both liked sports and baseball and, best friends throughout high school.
Okay.
I go to college. He goes to the service in the Army. After about 5-6 years, our lives were on so different trajectories that we ended up having very little in interest in common at that point. So it wasn't that we were like in no way disliked each other or just didn't, want to be friends still. It's just that life took us in different directions.
Right. Life found
and that's
a way.
just an idea. That's just an example of sometimes through attrition, friends just drift away. And that's not a bad thing.
No,
it just happens.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to be the bigger person to say, why don't they talk to me anymore? It's not you.
Well, we're going to get to some other things about that.
All right.
We'll bring that up, Matt.
All right.
Most friendships don't last very long.
Meaning?
Most.
Okay.
So throughout your lifetime, you're going to have a ton of friendships. It's typically only a small fraction. In studies have shown 1 out of every 12 friendships possess the depth or the longevity to last for a lifetime.
Okay.
So let's say you have in your 20s, let's say 20s, 30s, you have 10, 12 good friends. Probably only a couple of those at the most are going to be lifetime friends for you.
I agree with that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll tell you, the support system that one builds, that number only grows exponentially.
No, it could.
Because you have friends for a reason. These are friends that you depend on. And if
absolutely.
If you keep 1 or 2, then I hate to say it, David, but you kind of minimize your ability to reach out.
Well, and we're going to get in a little bit later as far as how do you balance these?
And that's my point. He's like, where
Yes.
do you spend your time?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Where are you investing your time?
All right, fair enough.
All right. So, folks, we have a lot more to talk about regarding
I
friendships.
told you 8 episodes.
No, it's not going to be 8. It's not going to be 8. It's not going to be like relationships. Maybe a couple. We'll see.
All right.
4 at the most.
Okay.
At the outside.
There it is.
So anyway, we're going to talk more about friendships. I have a lot more stuff to cover, and very interesting information too. So before we leave, if you're on Facebook Live, stay with us. We're going to be doing another episode in just a moment.
Yep.
If you're listening to audio, jump ahead an episode. If it's not there, it will be there the next Tuesday or Thursday.
Who's our Detroit dog rescue of the
Detroit
week?
Dog Rescue of the Week is Kirby. Kirby is a lab mix, was born in April of this year. So he's a puppy.
Puppy.
There is Kirby.
Love. Look at what is Kirby? It looks like a little bit of lab.
Yep. It's a lab mix.
Yeah.
A lab mix. Female.
Okay.
Right now is 25 pounds, but she's a puppy. So
it's going to be a
you
big
know,
puppy.
yeah, it's going to be a big dog.
Uh-huh.
Dog friendly, yes. Cat friendly, unknown. And kids older than 8.
All right. Kids older than 8.
But Kirby needs a home.
Aw,
Look at that
those
face.
eyes.
I know. He's so, look at that.
Aw. All
Kirby.
right. Kirby.
DetroitDogRescue.com. You can find their link on our website as well, or in our show notes. Check it out.
Just do it.
Kirby needs a home.
All right. Thank you.
All right, folks. Facebook Live, stay right there. In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time.
Are you my friend?
Friend.
Hi, friend.
Friends forever.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Part 2.
In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we are talking about the psychology of friendships. This is part 2. We've started a series, I think, because there's so much information I want to share with you. If you haven't listened to part 1, jump back an episode or listen to this one and then go back. Either way, it's all good. There are no rules. You do whatever you want.
That's what friends are for.
Absolutely.
What in blazes are you talking about?
And as usual, we're giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? This is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. We're back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
Hello.
Hello, that is Matt Fox, the other voice you hear.
Yes, it is.
We are here in the Podcast Your Voice, Southfield Studios, hanging out, doing a podcast.
It's what we do.
Matt's having like 4 drinks. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
It's just you have four lined up in front of him. I don't think he's not drinking all of them, but
No, I'm taking my time and I'm
we just did a
enjoying it.
Man Cave Happy Hour podcast a few moments ago, so they're just leftovers.
I have a 9 to 5. I have to be responsible. I got to drive home. I got to wake up. I got to do all these things. And I love doing them because it's just the best.
I ain't listening to you no more.
You're not my friend anymore. That's what friends are for.
So let me tell you, folks, where you can find me. First of all, my website is motorcityhypnotist.com. Check it out. Especially if you are in a committee for high school grad nights. I'm already booked for 8 shows already in May, June. and days are filling up quick. So contact me, motorcityhypnotist.com, and reserve that now, because again, I'm gonna say this because I have to. There are tons of high schools out there. In grad season, every hypnotist in the world comes out of the woodwork.
Right.
Majority of them, to be blunt, suck. They just do. I'm just being truthful with you.
And when you say suck, what do you mean?
It just means it's not a good show.
Okay.
It's just and there's no other way for me to explain it except if you watch a good hypnotist and a bad one.
Right.
And sometimes a crowd won't know the difference. They'll just think, oh, everybody's getting hypnotized. But it's not just rote. Like, it's not like a script you follow. You every show is different. For me, some hypnotists, their show's exactly the same, word for word. For me, the volunteers make the show, and I play off what is happening with the volunteers.
Would you say there's a bit of improv?
Yes,
within your show.
Absolutely.
All right.
In fact, I love to improv because that's where the funniest things happen.
Sure.
And I'm going to be honest, most hypnotists cannot do that. They know what to do as far as the rote script goes, but after that. Right. So anyway, I'm promoting myself, which is a good thing. So if you're in one of those high school committees looking for a grad night hypnotist, reach out now. MotorCityHypnotist.com.
All right.
Find me on social media, Facebook and YouTube, which are both Motor City Hypnotist, and on Instagram and Snapchat, which are Motor City Hypno. And as always, every show we give away a free hypnosis guide that's yours to keep. To download immediately, text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. And if you want to look that number up later, just go to my website. It's the same number that you would find there. Text the word hypnosis to that number, 313-800-8510.
Love it.
All right. The most important thing, wherever you're listening, leave a review. If you pop in for our Facebook Live, I'm assuming you're already a member of the Facebook group, because you're probably getting the notifications for it.
Sure.
But either join the Facebook group, like me on Facebook. We're at like 45,000 or so right now. So yeah, jump in. We've got a big crowd there, tons of people. But if you're listening on a podcast platform, wherever you're listening, leave a review. That would be super helpful. And connect, link, join, whatever it is on your platform.
Yep.
All right.
Here we go.
It is time. Bring it, Sly.
That's how winning is done.
All right.
Yes.
All right. What do we have?
Okay. This is, I don't know if you've heard this, because a famous star is a part of this story.
Okay.
It's Kevin Bacon.
What'd you call me?
No!
All right. So
Don't shut me up.
What does Mr. of the Bacon have going on?
So actor Kevin Bacon is seeing himself ratioed on the search engines.
Is that because of the 7 degrees or?
Nope.
Okay.
After a runaway pig bearing his name was caught with an elaborate ruse.
Okay. That just reminds me of another pig. Reminds me of another pig.
What in blazes are you talking about?
News story. And the name of the pig was Chris.
Yeah.
Middle initial P, last name Bacon.
This pig's name is Kevin Bacon.
For God's sakes.
But rather than wallowing the loss of limelight, Kevin Bacon, the human, used his social media to alert Pennsylvanians to the missing hog and the attempts of his owner, Chelsea Rumbaugh, to recapture him.
Please find me.
Chelsea lives in Cumberland Township and brought the pig home on October 13th. Following 2 brief breakouts, Kevin Bacon ran away after burrowing under the fence of his holding pen. Thus began a 2-week saunter around the rural area.
Soiling his royal oats. Okay.
Kevin Bacon the pig.
What kind of stupid wiener name is that?
Chelsea set up a Facebook page called Bring Kevin Bacon Home.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Which kept up a running thread of locations and news about the pig to help coordinate rescue efforts. She asked neighbors and friends to share the page, which eventually landed it in the feed of a certain Mr. Kevin Bacon.
Oh, for God's sakes.
The famous actor then shared the Facebook page on his Threads feed,
Good.
captioning it with, "Bring Kevin Bacon home." Over the course of his footloose adventure, Pig Kevin had grown accustomed to eating food from humans, which eventually led to his downfall in the form of a sticky bun laced with harmless Benadryl, for which an animal is sedative. They drugged him with a Benadryl sticky bun.
Is that why they have bacon bits on Cinnabon? Is that what
stings the nostrils?
Come on.
The story of Kevin Bacon and Kevin Bacon went viral, and she realized that she could use the fame to advance her goal of turning her farm into an emotional support center.
Okay. Need a platform. Go on.
Chelsea's rambling pig came home and even walked freely into his pen, which she had reinforced with concrete to stop him from tunneling out again.
She had the time to do it. So
we have plans for our property to be an open to the public farm and offer services for children and adults who struggle with PTSD, anxiety, and depression.
Okay.
And Kevin Bacon, the pig, is going to be here for all of that too, said Rumbaugh.
Okay.
The Facebook page has since been converted into Kevin's Home Adventures and hosts all Kevin content all day.
So it's basically a Facebook page for Animal Farm.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Yeah. So Kevin Bacon, the pig, escapes. The owner, Chelsea, puts out her Facebook feed, "Bring my pig Kevin Bacon home." Kevin Bacon sees it and shares it on his stuff, which leads to the pig actually getting found and rescued.
So the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon has grown,
leads into animals.
Glows into animals now. Okay. Just want to make sure we're on the same wavelength there.
That escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
That's such a great story. I laughed reading this. It was great. So Kevin Bacon, the pig, Kevin Bacon, the actor, definitely winners of the week.
That's how winning is done.
So let me ask you the question.
Yes.
Have you ever played the game of 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon
Yes,
with yourself?
I have.
And how many steps?
Like, what's the quickest?
Yeah.
Oh, I've gotten in 2.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Right. And there are certain movies where you find a bunch of actors in it. Apollo 13 is one.
Right.
What's the other one? The other big one that I use all the time. Oh, I can't it's been so long since I've done that, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious if you ever played that with your own Sam.
Well, we've played it in a group before too. So yeah. It's
the Kevin of Bacon pig.
So, back to it.
So speaking of friends like Kevin Bacon and Kevin Bacon the pig, we're talking about friendships.
Yep.
And the psychology of friendships. And we went through a bunch of facts and information in our first episode.
Mm-hmm.
This is part 2. And we ended up with most friendships don't last very long, meaning life moves on and friends kind of
your environment
through attrition.
Yep. Your environment changes.
Friends.
Yep.
So here's again, a lot of these studies have shown that when it comes to friends, and this is a kind of a no-brainer, but I want to say it anyway, quality over quantity is more important.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the whole Facebook phenomena, like, oh, I have 980 friends.
No, you don't.
It's like, no, that's just how many people have clicked or answered or just been stalking you.
That's how many people are just
doesn't matter.
Voyeurs.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yes. Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, good for you.
But really, of those 980 people, how many are truly friends? Single digits at most.
Sure.
Even that might be pushing it.
Yeah.
So quality is, definitely more important than quantity.
Okay.
Work friends are very important.
I was with the same employer for 22 years. And I had a number of friends, coworkers. But when I left that employer, a lot of them have started to fall off.
Yep.
And that's not just because I don't see them, or I'm actually been very silent on the socials these days.
Right.
But I've noticed that a lot of those old coworkers are no longer friends on the Facebook.
Oh, okay.
But I will send them a text and they'll be like, "Oh my God, how are you?"
Yeah. Right. So in the workplace, the importance of friendship is that, whatever your job is, it's important to have a creative, happy, productive environment with people that you like. So think about it. If you've ever had a job where no one was your friend, I don't know if that's ever happened to anyone, but it's pretty miserable job situation.
It happens a lot more than you think, because folks just they're not outgoing. They're just there to do a job, and they don't care about anything else. They're there for a paycheck.
And if you have a group of, and not even a group, even a couple or a few close friends at your job, at your employment, those people are less likely to look elsewhere to work somewhere else because they enjoy the people they're working with.
And I'm going to go out on a limb because I saw a story that Whoopi Goldberg was getting a lot of backlash for some of the things that she had been saying.
Okay.
And she was talking about how our millennials of this day and age, they want a 4-day work week, but they're not going to be able to afford a house on a 4-day work week.
Right.
And she got a lot of backlash for that. But that's just the mentality. They come in and they're there to do a job, and that's it. They don't look to seek out friends in the workplace.
Well, no, and that is that can be a problem because it's psychologically, it's like, I'm only here for the work. Now, again, balance this out. It's subjective a little bit, but yes, you're there to work. You're there to do the work to get paid. But wouldn't that be such more enjoyable if you had people you enjoyed being around?
Of course.
And that you had fun doing the work you're doing?
But I want a 4-day work week, and I want to be able to work from home. I don't want any interaction with my coworkers in any way, shape, or form.
And we may get into that at some point as far as what this social isolation that's been more.
It
is taking over. It is. So a Gallup poll that was completed in 2018 found that those who have a good work friend are more likely to be engaged in their jobs, deliver higher quality work, and have a better sense of well-being.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost poo-pooed in this day and age.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't tell you.
No, I know. It is crazy.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
But back to the root is the fact that, yes, you need to have coworkers as friends so you can go and enjoy what you do.
Now, again, listen, we all have jobs, what we consider jobs. It's how we make a living.
Sure.
And I can say very few people in the world do something they really love for work.
Fair.
It's just the way it is. You work for money.
Mm-hmm.
You work to have a home and to support your family and have food.
Mm-hmm.
Very few people go to a job and say, I love what I do.
I love the mentality that my mother had instilled in me.
Mm-hmm.
Work like you don't have to. Right.
Yeah.
But when you're at work, you have to be like a duck.
Yeah.
You're calm, cool, and collected on top.
Yeah.
But you paddle like hell underneath.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to have the mentality of work like you don't have to because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's nothing better than making money for something you love doing.
Great.
It's just, we could probably do a whole episode on that.
Oh, we could. Oh, we definitely could.
So here's one. And I know this is probably known, but a lot of people don't follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Friendships need to be matched in their give and take.
There has to be give and take in any relationship.
Right. Absolutely. So if you're always the one who has to be making plans or you're always the one reaching out and you feel like somebody else is not putting in the effort.
Sure.
That might raise some questions. That might make you think, I don't know. Is this really a good friend?
Yeah.
Don't know.
You're always being asked instead of.
or you're always the one reaching out,
right,
and you don't, there's no initiative from your friend to reach out to you.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
It's I would compare this to kind of a romantic relationship. There has to be give and take.
In the
both have to be
in the workplace.
Well, wherever it happens, that's fine.
Hi, Alice. Thanks for saying.
Oh,
hi.
Alice. Hey, Alice. This is a natural progression in life.
Okay.
Love will cost you friendships.
Of course. Well, wait. When you say love will cost you friendships,
yes,
is it you fall in love with somebody else and not them, and you lose that friendship, or is it?
It could be that.
Or I'm
talking more about like you have a group of friends and then you fall in love with somebody. That friend group is going to be second now. They're not number one anymore.
Okay.
And a lot of people have a hard time adjusting to that change.
And I hate to bring in pop culture, but that's what the show Friends was kind of it broke that because everyone was in love with one another at some point in time.
Sure. Right. Yes. Yes. So it's natural when you begin a romantic relationship with somebody from the outside that's not in your friend group that you're probably going to lose some friends over it.
Sure.
And it's not a failure on your part. It's just that's the natural progression of life.
Sure.
I know that sounds cliche and trite, but that's the way it works. You move on, you meet somebody, you get married. And even then you've been in a marriage. Your life's not the same as when you were single.
Oh gosh, no.
It's just different. It changes.
It does.
Your priorities are different. Your focus is different. Your time is different. So it's just going to happen.
Yep.
Here's an interesting fact I found in one of these studies. At what age do you think the strongest friendships are made?
I would say in their 40s, if not 50s.
No.
Really?
From ages 18 to 26.
Okay. Well, that's when, that's when you're just dating still.
Right.
And you're trying to figure out who you are and you have that circle of friends, but that circle of friends, I would almost think that you'd actually move in different directions. Like you and your friend from
after
the army.
that. Right.
So, but you have your circle of friends later in life. And you create better relationships later in life.
So here's what the study says. You're more likely to try out new things from 18 to 26, which leads to meeting new people. As you get older, commitments like marriage and children can cause your free time to shrink, which then makes it harder to meet new people.
Huh.
So in other words, you're more free at like 18 to 26 to meet people than you are from 26 and up.
Okay.
In general.
Because you get tied down.
And you don't have that.
You got a ball and chain.
you're stuck at home.
What in blazes are you talking about?
No, but I'll tell you this.
You're living with this woman.
No, you've had your limit today. You drink water.
Right.
Or she does this.
How are you going to wipe a table with this little, it's not even wet.
Or she does this.
No, you got to take everything off the table.
You're living with that. You probably don't have any friends.
Okay, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you that the group of friends that I had in my teens and early 20s, they are still my friends today.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
But since I have grown my friend network quite a bit in my 40s.
Yep.
And that just it still continues to grow as I work towards experiencing new things.
Sure.
Right. It's new experiences. You know what? Go and visit a restaurant you've never been to before. Stop going to the same old thing.
Absolutely.
Go out and have different new experiences, because what are you going to do? You're going to meet new people.
Right.
You can still do that.
But see, that's the whole point of the study, is that once you're done with school and you're into a career, there's less opportunity to do all those things.
So you make the opportunity.
Well, no, I understand. I'm saying, though, it typically doesn't happen.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, just clearly.
I ain't listening to you no more.
So here's and before I say this, again, we're talking in generalities. These are studies done So this is not a blanket statement.
Okay. Well, should it be?
Women value friendships based on emotional connection in general.
In general. Okay.
In general. Dynamics between male and female relationships, friendships are different.
Sure.
They are.
Yeah.
Women tend to have friendships that are more intimate and they have more emotional connections. They feel comfortable sharing personal things and personal
with other
issues or details.
You're talking about with other females.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. And in fact, in the study, women required more consistent contact with friends than with men.
Love me. I'm sorry.
So if let's say for a long period of time, you haven't heard from someone, they may feel like, oh, we're not friends anymore. Yeah. I'm just telling you what the study shows.
I chuckle because again, I'm not agreeing with that,
I see it though.
I'm sure
sometimes
you see it because you're more, you see it a lot more on your day to day.
No, I do.
Where I'm just using my own personal experiences with that.
So let me jump from women to men.
Okay.
Men value friendships that are more interest and activity based.
All right. So do you do a podcast?
I do.
So do I.
Yeah.
You want to be friends?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we're already friends. So here's the thing. Men typically have relationships that are focused on an activity.
Okay.
They like doing things together, like sports or watching sports, or, have same hobbies, or, things that they all like.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So there's less emotional, there's less intimate sharing connection there.
I get that. Yep.
Men can also go longer periods of time without any contact, without any issues.
Okay. So let me give you an example.
Yep.
Close friend of mine.
Yep.
Was the best man at my wedding 24 years ago. Okay. Oh, 23, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I had not spoken with him over the past 6 months. And I reached out just to say hi, check in. And we picked up like we had never,
like you never stopped.
Never stopped.
Yep.
Yep.
And I've also experienced this. I have friends. In fact, we just went to a Depeche Mode concert on Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
My friends Scott and Chris.
I heard it was great.
And their wives. We see each other once a year, twice a year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We gather before in the sun, like before football season starts, get ready for our fantasy football draft. And here's the other thing. We've all been in the same fantasy football league for almost 25 years.
But you guys just only get together once or twice a year.
Yes.
But in person, that is.
In person. But it's all good.
Yeah.
Because it's not, there's no expectation for anything more.
Sure.
I mean, we do talk. I mean, it's not like, because we're spread out. Like my one buddy Scott's in Clinton Township. My other buddy's in South Lyon.
Sure.
So, it's a big distance thing. But the study said, and the reason I'm bringing that up, men can go long periods of time without having contact. If they happen to have an argument with one of their mates, they're more likely to move on and continue their friendship than women are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this whole thing. So I got to tell you a story.
Okay.
Before we finish for this episode. When I was in college, we were in a dorm.
All right.
The dorm had a common lounge in a laundry room. Okay. So,
hey, did you see Chris has G-strings?
No, I'm going to say this guy, and I'll tell you the story and then I'll tell you the result. So this guy named Tom, he's in there folding his laundry.
Uh-huh.
In our dorm behind it, there was this pond with a bunch of cattails,
Okay.
So we had pulled some of these cattails and brought them into the dorm.
The flower cocktail or
cattails,
yeah,
the ones that the fuzzies fly all
cotton,
over.
Yeah, the cotton.
Yeah. So we were running up and down the dorm hallway, waving these things, making a snowstorm
while he was doing his.
And
laundry.
I went through the laundry room and waved it right over his laundry.
Dick move, David.
It was a dick move. I agree. It was terrible.
As one of the purveyors of laundry in my household, dick move.
What happened?
So we got face to face. Thought it was going to be a physical altercation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding. A month later, we were like best friends.
Sure.
It just,
hey,
whatever happened, happened.
Yep.
You know, so that's my example of and I'm sure it's happened realistically, but I would say men could have a fist fight and be laughing together.
Yeah.
An hour later over a beer.
Yeah. That is proven.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the difference. Generalizations, again, I'm just going off studies.
Okay.
So I can't say what's specifically right or wrong. You can make your own decisions about that, but I'm just showing you what the data shows.
Gotcha.
All right. So we're going to end on that between the difference between males and females.
All right.
Before I get knocked out or, you know.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Yes.
But, you know, you're not, because those types of experiences with other men.
Yes.
Right. That actually creates a stronger bond.
It does, because we used to laugh about that. He and I would laugh about it a year later.
Sure.
Because remember, we almost got in a fight. We would just laugh about it. There was no hard feelings. It was just, you know, it's just a stupid thing.
Yep.
So, folks, we're going to continue our series on friendships next episode. I guarantee this won't be 8 series. It won't be 8 episodes, maybe 3 at the tops, 4, because I already see the end of my list.
All
so
right, fair enough.
But I think this is good and it's fun, and we're doing something much more positive than if you're living with a narcissist. So
all right.
that's all good.
Thank you.
So
who is it?
Before we end, let me give you our Detroit dog rescue. Somebody needs a home.
Who is it?
Buster.
Buster
is an American Bulldog mix.
Oh, look at the Buster.
There's Buster.
Look at his paws.
I know.
Look at those tiny feet.
Look at that face.
Come on, Buster really needs a home.
Buster is an American Bulldog mix. He's about 35 pounds. He was born in 2020, January of 21. So he's about 2.5 years old.
Yep. Still puppy.
And unknown if he's dog or cat friendly and kid friendly, over 12.
Mm-hmm.
And it says he needs a quiet home to decompress.
Yeah. Let me see his picture again. So I could see the bulldog in his ears, but the snout is where the mix comes in.
Snout's a little bit different. Yeah.
Snout is a bit different.
Not so saggy.
No,
not
it's
so
not so
pushed in. Yeah.
Right. So you won't have those nasal issues down the road.
Yeah. But Buster.
Cute puppy.
Buster needs a home.
He's a cutie.
Yeah. He needs a place to decompress.
All right.
Give him a home.
All right.
All right, folks, that is it for today's episode. We're going to continue on with friendships on our next episode. Join us Facebook Live every Monday night, unless we miss for whatever reason, but typically every Monday night, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Jump into our Facebook Live, interact, ask questions,
say hi,
be a part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're listening on audio, thank you for listening, and just jump ahead to the next episode or wait till it drops. In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time.